going to show you really fast how to change your brake pads. I'm going to use these Trax Factory pads that with the Stomper compound. I've had really good luck with these. I love these. These are my my third set over the last 4 years. These are really high quality. I'm going to show you how to replace these in your SRAM G2 brakes. So a couple things you're going to need. Obviously the new brake pads themselves. They come with a spring clip in there and one pad for each side of the rotor, obviously. So this will do just one tire, one wheel. So this is going to be on the front I'm replacing. You're going to need some alcohol, rubbing alcohol, gloves, keep the oils off your rotors and your pads that you're putting on. Needle nose pliers, a tire lever, plastic by the way, and it's funny that you're using a tire lever, but it's going to help push the pistons back in on the brakes. A 2.5 millimeter Allen key and a 1/4 inch Allen key to take the wheel off, because you're going to need to take the wheel off in order to get to the brake pads. So, and also a rag. So let's get started. The front wheel's been removed, so now we can get at the components here of the brakes. So there's this little clip right here that you're going to want to use your needle nose pliers and just pull that straight up, and that's going to be like that. So you see that there. Take that little clip off, set it aside. Do not lose that. You're going to need it when reinstalling it. Now you're going to take your 2.5 millimeter Allen key and loosen this pin here. This pin goes all the way through both pads and the spring clip that you're going to need to. So that will just start backing out there. And you can pull the pads out either side. You can either drop them through or pull them back this way. Simple, just like that. Pull that, leave that pin now. Keep that pin with that clip so you don't lose those. You're gonna need both those to reinstall them. So I'm gonna take this assembly right here. These are the worn pads. So this one, why I'm also replacing them is because this one's been kind of like squeaky a little bit. There's still some life in them, but now that I have it apart, I'm gonna go ahead and replace the pads. And the set comes with a new spring clip. Sometimes your calipers will, your pistons will still be spread out there. So this is where the brake lever comes into handy, the tire lever, because you want to push those back in, because now those new pads are thicker and they're going to need more space inside there. So a little simple pushback of the pistons will allow that to, will allow the new pads to sit in there much easier from the get-go. So here's what the pads look like, sandwiched in. The spring clip is in there, and I'm just going to drop this down through here, and then I'll reinsert that pin. So those pistons should be out of the way for these thicker pads now to be put in there. All right, so the spring clip and the pads, new pads are in there. I'm going to put the retaining pin in there. This is where you're going to need your 2.5 millimeter Allen key again to screw that back in there. Just like that. Tighten that down. And then put your retaining clip on the other side. that could just be put on just like that. You're going to just snap it on there and you're good to go. So you might need to, once you put the rotor in, you might need to readjust where the brakes are. So you want to loosen up the top and the bottom of this whole assembly. Run the wheel through a couple different times, squeeze the brakes, and then align where the pads are rubbing on, or not rubbing on, but so they don't rub on the rotor. So take that alcohol that you had before with the towel, wipe off that rotor really, really well. No contaminants are on there, and you should be good to go. Simple install of some new brake pads right there. Super easy to do. Save yourself some money. Do it yourself. These are on the SRAM G2 brakes. I'm using the Trax Factory brake pads. Super easy and simple to do. To center your rotors in your new pads you've just installed, go ahead and loosen up the brake bracket there. Loosen both the top and the bottom. So that the whole piece is just floating there. And now what you want to do is kind of center it right there, and then spin your wheel around and apply the brakes. So now when the brakes are applied, hold them still, keep the brakes applied, and now go back with your Allen key and tighten that down. So now your rotor is being held by those pads to stay centered. Make sure those are both attached good. Just like that. So now when your wheel goes around, it's going to spin freely and not be hung up by rubbing on the pads at all. If you have any more questions, comments, let me know. Thanks for watching.